Hello and welcome to Nomad Gaming. We are back with Planet Coaster. I got a bunch of feedback from you guys. Some people wanted me to continue on the tropical park. Some people wanted to continue on the rock and roll park. Some people just wanted some epic coasters, and some of you had never even seen this game before, which just blows my mind because I've been excited about this game ever since it came out. And I have not stopped playing it. So, here's the deal. We're going to continue with all of those projects. And on the YouTube channel, I'm going to create a playlist for each park or each project that we have going. And I will try to put out at least one episode of each project a week. I do not know if I will be able to keep that up, but we will see. That's what we're going to try for. So I started, this first episode is with the tropical park. We're working on the dock for the boat transportation ride. And I'm very, very pleased with the way that this came out. And we're starting this episode a little bit differently. We're doing a time lapse of what I have already done in the game, and now I'm just narrating over it. And later on in the video, towards the end, I'm going to go into the game in real time and show you guys in a first-person camera of what we completed. So what you're seeing me do right now is creating a building layer to go around this. And I put a metal building wall on the bottom side of this dock to make it look like the building is not just floating in the water. There's actually something that's going down into the water, down to the ground. And like the vibe that I'm going for here is an old boat dock, and this is sort of a larger one. This is like an expedition that these people are going to be going on. Obviously, this is just a ride that's going to transport people from the front of the park to the back of the park. But I want it to be very Disney-themed expedition kind of ride. And so the idea for what I'm doing now is I'm actually laying ivy along the top of it, almost like a blanket that's going to cover the entire section of this station. And it's going to give the guests some shade. It's not going to stop any rain from coming down, but I'm imagining that this park is very hot. There's not a lot of places for shade, so the park had to do something to keep the guests comfortable. So they decided to grow these vines on top of the building here to create just a little bit of shade. So each one of those vines are individual squares, and I have just duplicated those over and over again and turned them, maybe 45 degrees or 90 degrees, and made it look more realistic so it doesn't have the same pattern over and over again. When you duplicate it, it will just rotate at 90 or 180, and it kind of gives a different look. And I decided to put some ivy going up those tree trunks there as well. I thought it added a little more texture to it so that it wasn't so bland. And now I'm going around here and placing these vines that are drooping down, and I will eventually place those all the way around the station. So I'm going to let some music play right now, and then we're going to come back in just a little bit after I've done some more work. Alright, we are coming up on to the end of the time lapse here. And you guys could have watched me place those boxes for hours, and I don't want to put you through that. So, I've kind of just put a couple of them out there for now. I definitely want to go back and add more. It's just going to take more time. And here you're seeing me place these archaeologists, is what the game calls them. And I figured that they could be like our expedition leaders or guides, I guess. And so I changed the color of their clothes to make them look more like expedition leaders or guides. And I was able to place one of them on top of that box there to make it give the illusion that he's sitting on top of it. I think that worked out great. So yeah, I think that this was getting close to the end. I don't even remember if I added, I added a couple more boxes here. It's just so time consuming because you want to be able to rotate them to make them look a little bit different. You don't want them all to look the same. I can probably go back and even change some of the colors of those boxes to give it a little more contrast as well. But I wanted to kind of make it look like this is a big cargo area. They're loading the boats up with all this supplies, maybe medical or food, and sending it off to some remote destination, and you're just going along for the ride. So let's go in this real time. Okay, so here we are. This is what we did today during the time lapse. This is all the ivy that we placed on top of the structure, giving the people some shade, not really covering them from rain, but I'm sure that it would be nice and hot on this island, so we want to give them some shade. We added in some ivy along the sides as well. We added the vines down here underneath, dipping down into the water. We added this metal structure here on the bottom, trying to make it look more like a boathouse. The reason why I added two colors to this, one to the top and one to the bottom, is to make it look like it is sitting in the water. And if you look at a building in water, the bottom of it would be darker than what the top above the water would be. I think that worked out very nice. Even though the water isn't sitting exactly at that level, it still gives the illusion that it is. We added the wood flooring here on this side. We added some here to this as well. tons of crates in this area. 2 animatronic guys here. I want to fill in this entire area with crates and just more stuff, making it look like you're going on an expedition. We added these fans here that are actually airplane propellers. And I think in this little section here, what I want to do is add almost like a bulletin board, and it would show pictures from expeditions and the names of the expeditions that they have been on. So let's hop into the first person view and see what the guests would actually be seeing. Here we go. I need to add something right here. I think it looks a little too bland. And I also think the sign for the ride itself is going to sit right here. I'm going to add a bunch of the bigger crates here, and then the sign would kind of be plastered onto those crates. And I'm sure we'll find something here, maybe just a little section of plants and trees to put there. The vines just added so much detail, and that took a long time. So here's the queue for it. More boxes to be added through here. Same for back here. I'll probably even stack more crates back here. Much taller, much more condensed. This is our little expedition guide, I guess you could say. Little TNT crate there. It just added so much. I am loving this area already. So in the next episode, we're going to add more crates, more detail to this station. We'll add the sign out here for the entrance of it. And then what I want to do out in this area here, I want to add another small ride somewhere, and then maybe a few more shops. And then I want to tie in this path somehow to this path that leads into the cave. And then it'll leave us just a small area here for something else that we'll have to figure out later. So, thank you guys very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.